Hello, 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 and welcome back to That Quirky Bird Girl. I'm your host, Steph, and today I'll be doing a little prep for a speech that I am preparing, because prep means preparing. And the speech that I'm preparing is a TED Talk. So I am not only manifesting my TED Talk, but I am also re-recording a speech that I did a while ago and doing it with the confidence that I have gained from this platform. So I'm gonna add a little to my face just to brighten me up, and then I will get into some of the speech prep. So come along with me. I'm nothing but a pink girl. I love pinks. I think they're very fun, and pink is kind of who I am. I always do under eye eyeliner. And I'm going to show you all the difference that it makes, because I have hooded eyelids, so I don't know if you can tell, but yeah, that's what they're like. And if you're asking or wondering what my speech is about, I'd be happy to tell you. My speech is going to be about how I used, my speech is going to be about how I used birds and bird color specifically in order for me to actually learn English as a young child. And the whole goal of the speech is to convey that, like, by learning, someone who is neurodiverse learns best. That is how you unlock the mind. Not by doing like strict strategies that people have pulled together. It's about sitting with the person and asking them what it is that they want to learn. Oftentimes, I think professionals, and I was in this space for some time, so I think I can speak to it a little bit, but I think that they get very locked into what the teaching strategies are and what they need to be doing and like this or that. And like, I had attended a conference some time ago, and one of the bulletins that they handed out after was like best practices with a neurodiverse student in your classroom. And I think the most difficult thing for me in actually reading that was not anywhere was an initiation of conversation with the individual. It was like review strategies, talk to researchers in the field, talk to fellow teachers, talk to this. Like, it was like going to everyone else instead of just like asking the person what it is that they needed specifically. And that might have been like, someone could be like, that's intuitive, like obviously, duh, they're gonna do that. That's the first step. But when you're not laying it out, like, is it really the first step? Is it the most important step if it didn't make the bulletin? Like, arguably, that is the most important step. You're not gonna figure out how to teach a student in a way that works for them by talking to other researchers. Like, sure, you're going to get an idea, and I think that that's helpful foundational knowledge, but ultimately, like, the best person to speak to is the person that is suffering from the disabling effects of it, of autism. And particularly when you're a child and in a classroom, the disabling effects of autism are significant. Any sort of like group layered activity is really hard for an autistic individual, or it can be very hard. Again, the saying is as it goes. If you've met one autistic person, you've met one autistic person. And that's it. Like, you can't assume that the experience is the same across the board just because autism is so dynamic. It's the reason why Asperger's was originally broken out into separate classifications, because autism is such a wide spectrum, and it's not a spectrum in the way that people think about a spectrum. It's a spectrum, think about it like more circular. So there are more areas like shaded in here that I struggle with and shaded in here that I struggle with. And it's not going to be the same for every single individual. So having a conversation with me and then thinking that everything is going to apply over into your students, like, that's just not realistic. I can give insights on the autistic experience, but like, ultimately, the autistic experience is so unique. Like, so while I come on this platform and go on TikTok and go on my podcast and I share my story, it is at the end of the day, solely my story. It's not anyone else's. And I think that's the hardest part for people to grasp, because oftentimes they think that once you have a label for something, it becomes universal. And that's the same problem with anxiety that I found personally. And, I think we as a society do so much damage in near immediate diagnoses, because while they are vital, I am someone who didn't have access to a near immediate diagnosis. So like, this is also coming from a point of that perspective. because I didn't have the option or the opportunity to be diagnosed. And had I had it, honestly, my take might be a little bit different. You know, there are certainly times where I look back and I wish like that my parents had paid for the resources to get me diagnosed when I needed the diagnosis, because don't get me wrong, I still need my diagnosis and it's still really important for me. And when I look around to experiences of other autistic adults, it seems that sometimes the autism label can be like a little limiting, not necessarily in our own worldview, but in the worldview of people around us who try to limit what it is that we are capable of, even though, like, the world is quite literally an autistic person's oyster. Like, especially if you have a dual diagnosis of ADHD, like, that's not to say there isn't, you know, it's a disability. It's a literal disability. And I don't want to take away from that because that's very real. At the same time, though, having my ADHD has probably saved my autism. And I think that, well, let me explain what I mean by that. What I mean by that is that my ADHD keeps me moving so much and keeps me so on the go that I don't have time to be in one industry. Like, I'm in like 6 different industries, and that's awesome because it means intense diversification. It means I'm a specialist in certain areas, and that I am 9 times out of 10 highly desirable because of my ability to speak on so many different topics and share my passion across the board in a way that's enticing and exciting. I just want to make sure I didn't overpluck my eyebrows. I think I kept my natural arch, but this hair is bothering me. There we go. Make sure it has water. Yeah, I feel good about these. And it's a complex conversation because, again, it goes back to the same thing. Like, if you've met one autistic person, you've met one autistic person. My experience isn't universal to every single autistic creator or autistic individual. Like, that wouldn't be fair of me to say, but I will say that there have been a lot of people that I've related to over just period of time and have felt like they understood me in ways that I didn't even totally understand me at specific times or at particular points in my life, which I think can be very beautiful. And, you know, oftentimes people get you before you get you, which can be insightful. I'm excited for this speech though, because ultimately my goal is to have an impact, and I think that my content is a way that I'm doing that and working towards that. And I love it so, so, so much. But I really think TED will help me launch, and I'm excited for it. Like, heck yeah, new challenge, get me on a friggin' stage. I deserve to be on a stage. And I don't say that in like the vain way, whatever. Like, I was meant to be on a stage. I don't necessarily know how that's gonna look or how it'll be, but I'm completely open. Like, it could be acting, it could be me sharing about birds, it could be like, I love being on a stage. I love sharing my voice. I love sharing my story, as difficult as it's been. I know that sharing it makes it easier for other people. And so in that way, like, I'm not holding back. I'm fully embracing the fact that my story is healing for other people, and owning that too has been very comfortable for me because I've been able to say, like, you know, I love inspiring people. I love inspiring change. And probably been the thing that I've loved the most about past, like, roles in the past. Like, I love making someone feel seen. It's so fulfilling and special. It's so special. And you don't realize how much of an impact you might be having on someone or on their story or on their lives. Really, it can be something very beautiful and sacred, and like, I cherish that so deeply, and I don't take it lightly. And I think that that has made me unique in a lot of ways. And there was definitely a time where I tried to like hide my uniqueness or like make it a little less bold, but I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not doing that anymore, and I feel really proud of myself for that, because there was definitely a time where I was full in on doing that. And like, it's hard not to, right? Like, it's hard not to make yourself smaller to make space for other people, but you don't deserve to feel smaller just to give people space they never wanted to claim to begin with. You know, we claim our own space. And I think me acknowledging that has been really good for me personally, because it's allowed me to be like, okay, you know what? Like, it's not to create space when someone doesn't feel it for themselves, you know? And that's not the same as creating space when someone is like opening up or sharing their story. Like, that to me is very, very different. That I will always create space for. What I'm referring to is the fact that I am, for people who want to absorb but don't want to give, those people I'm not creating space for anymore in my own personal life. But, you know, if those people were to claim the space and own it, then that's different. I'm there to listen, but I can't hold my breath anymore for other people to do that for themselves. They gotta do it. They gotta do it. So this is my makeup routine, minus mascara, which is the next part. Actually, let me do that right now. In my bird makeup video, I did not do mascara because the look already fulfilled itself, you know? No more was needed. But who's to say? I do love a pink. It's because I have bright green eyes. I don't know if you can tell. And if you go back to my old videos, it's actually crazy because in older videos, you can't even tell my eyes are green because I was just going through such a hard time. They honestly just look brown. But what's even more wild is that I was with someone for 10 years and they didn't know what eye color I had. They had no idea, which is absolutely absurd. If you are dating someone, you should freaking know what color their eyes are. Like, hello, bare minimum. My golly. I mean, like, far below the bare minimum. Like, far below. I digress. This is an eyelash curler for those of you that are not makeuply inclined. And I'm just putting on mascara because they make my eyes pop even more. And we love things that make you pop. I was watching a video the other day and it was talking about how, by Tam Core, it was talking about how it's not about drawing attention away from the things that you're insecure about. It's about drawing attention to the things that you are secure about. I was like, oh my god, that's life-changing. Because I've always loved my eyes and my lips. I have very lips and I've never had anything done with them. They just have always been luscious. And then my eyes, I was really the only person who ever appreciated my eyes growing up, for whatever reason. I always loved brown eyes though. Loved brown eyes. However, today, I don't really have a preference, except I love my green eyes. Okay, I'm just gonna keep it on. And I just do the bottom, but you're right, I do it with two different mascaras because my eyelashes are different than the bottom and the top. This is my makeup. Now I need to do my hair, but I need a snack. Okay, so now it's hair time, and I've got some espresso. My hair is sometimes a menace, but I take really good care of her because I care a lot. I lost a hair. It's okay, you win some, you lose some. My back just cracked. Yay! Yeah, okay. Alright, so this is where we're at. It is wash day, so I will be washing my hair later today. But, well, I suppose it can last another day. But I'd like to do braids, but I need to part my hair a little bit differently. Let's get into the pot. This is my parting brush, and this is not going to be clean. Oops. See, my hair wants to go over there. My hair wants to go over there. My hair wants to go over there. Okay. Here we are with our middle part. I've always struggled with psoriasis, so you can see some of it in here. And I've got white flakes. Kids were diabolical growing up, and I would get called Snow White. My hair would shed. Little did they know I would actually become Internet Snow White. Children. Okay, I'm gonna pin all of this back because I don't want this to get in the way. And then this is what we're working with. Okay. And then I'm gonna use a little. Oh, I haven't been in here in a while. What the heck? Where'd it go? I used to have a bag of a bunch of hair clips. I don't know where it went. I don't know where the little hairbends went. Maybe I put them in here? What did I do that? Just another 2 bites the dust. It's okay. Oh my gosh, another one? Another 2? Okay, well, I don't know where the ponytails one. This just complicates things a little bit because I don't have little things. Okay, wait, I have two in here. I don't know where the bag went. And then the bows I'll figure out later. Okay, so what do I want to do? I saw this rainbow thing, waterfall braid that someone did that I really liked. I think I want to do that. Okay, so now I gotta do the waterfall braid. My alarm interrupted the psoriasis still as an adult. It just bothers me. It just bothers me. And you know, you can do everything within your power, within your control. But, you know, sometimes you'll still have flakes. So I'm figuring out how to live with my flakes. Okay, so I'm gonna try a waterfall braid. And basically, the way that looks is you take 3 pieces and you divide it up and you braid it. And I like to do 2 full rounds of braids. The article said to do 1, whatever. It said drop this piece, so drop. Then pick up a new piece from the top. I'm gonna do a small piece. Then start braiding. And drop the second piece. Then pick up a new one. So this is what it ended up looking like. It's supposed to look like a waterfall. This is my first time doing it though. So I don't know that it lands exactly on what I'm looking for, but I think I'm okay with whatever outcome it is. So I don't know, I guess that's a metaphor for my life a little bit lately. I'm a little okay with wherever things take me. Because I know that the universe has some sort of plan for me and that my TV show is happening, however it looks. And I think there are a lot of people that I have that are mentors, and I'm very lucky to have them in my life. And so the future is what I make of it, I suppose. It's kind of where my thought process is at this present moment. So here's that. And then I'm going to tie it up at the end. Well, when I say end, I'm coming to the end right now. And I could do a bow, but honestly, I kind of want to see where, after finishing both sides, how I feel about it. You know? Yeah, no. And this is a super, super small braid. I didn't realize it would be so small. I guess I could have taken bigger pieces, but I also am not. I probably wouldn't have, honestly, even if I wanted to. I like the fullness of my hair, and braids, unless I do it in 2 large ones, are not. There we go. There's the first one. And then I have these little baby hairs that they've been growing out. And I just want, yeah. So that's the first side. And now we're going to do the second side. I made food. The other side of this braid is going to be, this side's always easier to start for me. This other side can be a little bit more difficult because I have emotions wrapped up into it. But yeah, this is where we're at. I get to a point where I start like itching my head and I need to stop. Because it triggers. It's triggering. Okay. Alright, so there's this half that's done. And then I need to do this half. You're like participating in my stalling of doing this. Okay, so this is the braid itself. I'm just gonna toss that back. And this is my hair. Okay, there we go. Let me close this window. Getting a little chilly. Okay. So there's that. Admittedly, y'all, I'm kind of nervous. Getting started on things can be hard. But I did it on the left side, so I can do it on the right. I can do it. I know I can. I just need to keep in mind how small I made it too. It was pretty small. The hair on this side of my head is much thicker than the hair on this side of my head. I don't know why. It's always been that way. So I always have to be mindful of that and adjust my proportions accordingly. So I'm just gonna break this up into 3 again. And then if y'all did not see part 1 of this video, it is me getting ready for makeup because I'm recording a video for a TED Talk I'm going to do one day. One day meaning very soon within the year. I'm manifesting it. I just know that's the next step in launching my brand. Now I'm gonna throw everything back, and now it's just all about the braid. I used to be really fast at this. I am the oldest of 5, and 2 of my youngest siblings are sisters, and so being able to braid was most certainly as an essential skill for myself. Okay, so let's go back to that braid, and I want to make sure that they're both the same length. So we're about same, yeah. So I just recorded a really long bit, and it actually wasn't recording, which is a bummer because I was hyping myself up. And I don't want to back up now. But and what I was saying is just that I feel really proud of myself because I'm finally embracing my identity as different. You know, I've gone through all of these different waves of life where, one second. I've gone through all of these different waves of life where, you know, growing up, knowing that I wasn't able to communicate in a way that other people were able to. And I knew that. Like, I knew it. I was always conscious of it. And it was so hard to be so aware of my environment, of my surroundings, but not be able to communicate to other people that I understood them in a way that they didn't understand them, or that even they thought I understood them. Like, I was so intuitive and smart, but I wasn't able to match my language with my intelligence until I was like 6 or 7. And even then, people didn't start seeing me as intelligent or smart or capable really until I started seeing myself as those things. And that didn't come until like literally probably last year. And I always felt like, you know, going into school, things were really, really hard for me. I would take classes in high school and elementary school, and it always felt like I would be like 10 steps ahead. And that's something I've heard throughout my life, that my thinking is usually 3 to 10 steps ahead. And sometimes it takes people a second to arrive at where I'm at. And I've accepted that. I think that's actually something that's really beautiful about me because it speaks to my ability um, to make people feel like they're supported before they even get to where they are trying to get to. So I think it's beautiful, but at the time when I was younger, teachers hated me for it. I used to have hair down to like literally my hips, and I would sit in class and I would twirl my hair, and I had a teacher who just could not stand that I did that, but I couldn't focus. Like, if I didn't do something with my hands, with my body, with my speech, like, I literally could not focus. I needed to do something. And, you know, that was part of the reason why I left to Italy, because I recognized that there were going to be, I thought that it was my circumstances and the people that I was around that weren't accepting of me. And that's the reason why things weren't working out for me. So I left for Italy, and once I got there, I found like, wow, I feel so released. I can create my own language, and create my own language, meaning learning Italian. And that worked really well. And I was able to build out my own class structure with professors, and they would get so excited and they would really see how smart I was and uplift me. And it felt so, so good. Like, I was in the 4th year math class and I was probably like 2 years ahead of them. And it ends at the 5th year, you know? So it felt really good to be there. empowering and also gave me the opportunity to believe in myself on my own. And being diagnosed, or knowing growing up that I was always so different and that I was struggling for ways that like I couldn't even put words to, it made me feel like I was who I know I am. Like, I know I'm intelligent, I know I'm so smart, and I know I'm so capable, but like at the time there wasn't anyone who was like thinking that same thing about me. I felt so alone in that thought, and it was really hard to be alone in. And then I come back from Italy, I've got this amazing new language, I'm now learning Spanish, I got a degree in political science and Spanish linguistics, and then did a minor in finance. So I was kind of all over the place again, but I just loved research. I loved researching, I loved learning new things, I loved new findings. That ended up taking me all the way to Germany, presented some research there, came back. It was such an amazing experience. Once I graduated, COVID was happening, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like everything. So now do I just like go the normal path? I decided I'd go the normal path, the path that everyone else takes. You know, you get married, you get a job, and you get a bigger apartment, and things just start like getting better for you somehow. And things just were not getting better for me. Things, if anything, things were getting worse for me. I completely rejected the idea of marriage physically, bodily, and that was hard. I couldn't work in a corporate environment. It just didn't work for me. And so leaving that environment, I was like, oh my gosh, okay, so marriage doesn't work for me, living a normal life, like all these things. I knew I was different, but I didn't realize that being different also meant that I had to take a different path than other people. I thought it just meant that my lived experience was different and I had to adapt into what they were living in. But no, I had to create my own personal worldview and my own personal, really, this content journey in order for me to be able to succeed. And now I'm on this amazing road to success. You know, one day I am going to have a penthouse. And today I look out at my apartment and I get to live in this amazing space where I can see my cats all the time, and they're 11 years old, and I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to just look across a room and see them. I'm so grateful that I get to do that now. And then looking forward, I know I'm going to have a penthouse that overlooks Central Park, and I'm going to have a birdhouse, and I'm going to have a citrus tree, and I'm going to go outside and I'm going to pick my lemon and I'm going to put it in my lemon tea, and then I am going to take a little stroll and I'll send my lemon tree away for the summer or the winter because I care about it being safe and it living through the seasons. So I will prioritize its health. And then one day I'm going to have a wraparound condo in Argentina over the next 5 years, and I'll get to send friends and people and say like, oh, you can stay in my home in Argentina. Like, that is so exciting for me to be able to do that, to create community amongst people and amongst friends and amongst whatever it might be. Like, to be a builder is my absolute favorite thing. It's so exciting and it's so motivating, and it's where I'm meant to be. I'm meant to be consulting. I'm meant to be doing things that are out of the box and helping people understand things from new perspectives that can feel scary or can feel overwhelming. But I'm an amazing guide. I'm an amazing, amazing guide. I swear I like it. Ugh. So I'm ready for this TED Talk, and I'm ready for Jimmy Kimmel. Woo! I know one day I'll be sitting across the stage from Jimmy Kimmel and he'll be interviewing me and I'll be interviewing him as much right back. I'll do the Vogue interviews one day where you tear off the Google search, and I'm going to have my own TV show, and it's not going to be any reality TV show because I'm not just any person. I'm so different. And I'm finally looking at that in a positive light and feeling empowered in it and feeling excited and happy and proud of my differences, when just 2 years ago, I would not be looking at a camera like this. I wouldn't be so proud of myself and so excited to just be me. And for the first time, I feel that. I feel excited to be me. So I'm ready for this TED Talk. I'm ready for the TV show. I'm ready for the penthouse. And I'm ready for Jimmy Kimmel. But I'm ready when the universe sends those things my way. Because in the meantime, I will be here enjoying and having so much fun growing my brand and growing this platform and growing the community. But it's happening, and I feel like it's happening this year. It's going to be a whirlwind. 2025 is my year. I just know it. Come along with me. I'm going to post another video of me actually doing the TED Talk because I feel it's important. It's not the exact speech I'll be doing when I do a TED Talk, but it's one of the speeches, so I'll be posting it. So stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching. Whether or not you are new to my channel or you've been watching for a while, I hope that my videos inspire something for you, and I hope that you embrace your interest and your love and your passion just as holistically as you might be seeing that I do with mine. Thank you for watching, and I will be posting another video of my TED Talk soon. See you soon. Bye!